There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because when is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Tamare. He put his life on the line for us all. And for the truth, the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true. For a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. But how about you? For the master, master teacher. Freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. For the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it master teacher. Bring it freedom for the master, master teacher. Freedom for the master, bring it master teacher. Bring it freedom for the master, master teacher. 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 Freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to divide brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down to make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult. There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because when is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true for a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. Said, how about you? The master, master teacher, freedom for 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 the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and broke the chains of bondage. Master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, bring it master teacher, bring it freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, bring it master teacher, bring it freedom for the master, master teacher, 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 freedom for the master.
They did everything in their power to take this land and make sure that what's happening right now does not go on. They tried every trick in the book. They ain't finished. They tried slander, defamation of character. They tried to lock brothers up, harass sisters on the street, stop every car coming down and make sure they did everything they could. And not one person come out and help us. Why? Because they had us marked as a cult. Oh, there's some crazy suicide cult.
Bring home now, bring home now. It's freedom, master teacher, freedom, master teacher. Bring home now, bring home now. It's freedom, master teacher, freedom, master teacher.
There's a concentrated effort to stop it. They'll do anything to stop us, especially now. Because where is our opposition?
He's been fighting for us for so long. So many schools of thoughts we've been through, yeah, to keep us strong. So tell me, what is it that you're willing to do to make our dreams come true? Yeah, make our dreams come true. Been a long time coming, but now we're here. So won't you stand up and show no fear? For the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher. 'Cause he's a man of the hour. They kidnapped him for building Tamare. He put his life on the line for us all, and for the truth the lies must fade away. Fade away. It's been a long time coming. Yes, let's be strong. For the 7 seals are breaking. It won't be long to make our dreams come true for a life that's new. Some are called and few are chosen. Said, how about you? For the master, master teacher, freedom 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 for the master, freedom, master teacher, freedom for the master, master teacher. the master. Freedom, master teacher. Freedom for the master. Freedom, master teacher. Think not that we are earthborn, we come from earth, we may be, but we are life on spirit, and without knowing we can never be free. Knowledge of this was lost when we were cast into blindness. The master teacher came and walked the
Greetings. رغبة مويسار شلل Wu-Sabat, greetings family of Wu-Sabat, Palm Mosbat, Fabians. And before we start, can we be heard on Clubhouse? And can we be heard on Zoom?
Robot.
Oh, great, right. I'm Haptwy Ray Atampatap, one of the many student teachers of the master teacher, Parnababiananan, or Avatara Yanun, Baba Avatara Yanun, also known to us affectionately as Baba Yanun, or who incarnates in the body of His Excellency Dr. Malachi Z.K. York Okran, 33 degrees over 720 degrees. Yeah, we can go straight into it. But we can go straight into it in today's class. Today's class is entitled, Does Wu-Sabat Advocate Critical Thinking? And is non-critical thinking a part of the spell? Okay, so let us begin. So once again, I hope everybody's okay, doing fine.
Yeah.
On Zoom, everybody doing fine? Great. That is heat wave season of the UK. So does Wu-Sabat advocate critical thinking, and is uncritical thinking a part of the spell? So let's begin today's class. And let's go straight into it. Deep dive. Right, the first thing we need to do is always identify the meaning of words, because words are very important, be in the English language, in all languages. Put the meaning of words and methodology here. Advocate critical thinking. What does the word critical thinking mean to you?
Well, I mean, it means the opposite of just believing. Without that
Sorry, use the mic.
when you say critical thinking, to me, I look to see what is the opposite of that, which is uncritical thinking or belief. You believe something when you're not sure that what it is, but you want to trust the person who's told you.
So critical thinking would be then, if critical thinking is the opposite, explain what you mean by that then. If uncritical thinking is like having a belief system, what is critical thinking?
Critical thinking is when critical thinking is when I know what I'm talking about. Like for example, or when we say something exists and develops through time, we can call that spherical movement, because it has direction and it has a purpose and it goes through stages. That is as far as I've got with what is the difference between linear, circular, and spherical movement.
Okay, I know where you come with that.
That's as far as I've got. Sorry.
No, thank you for your input.
Yeah,
I've got a sister here, Ms. Maltat. Robert.
Critical thinking is basically questioning assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else?
Is it summarizing thinking?
Okay.
There's a word I want to use, but I can't think of. Yeah.
The critical thinking thought process is not there yet. Okay, anybody on Zoom or Clubhouse? What does critical thinking mean to you?
Hello?
Robert?
Right, Haptwy. Could critical thinking be the study of knowledge based with evidence to back it?
Right. Well done. This is what it says here. When you Google that, this is what it says here. Critical thinking is the intellectually disciplined process of actively analyzing, evaluating, and synthesizing information to reach reasoned judgments. It involves questioning assumptions, identifying biasness, and using logic rather than emotion to solve problems and make informed decisions. That's critical thinking. Basically, a form of analyzing things. And when you reach a decision, it's done by way of reasoning, or we would say sound right reasoning. Let's continue. Okay, let's continue reading. Okay. It's got here. Core processes. To think critically means to engage in a set of systematic cognitive activities, interpretation, understanding and explaining the meaning of data, text, or experiences, analysis, breaking information down to its component parts to see how they relate to one another, evaluation, assessing the credibility, relevance, and logical strength of arguments or evidence, synthesis, combining different pieces of information or perspectives to form new and well-reasoned conclusions. Now, this is critical thinking. Okay. Remember, today's class is, does Wu-Sabat, Wu-Sabat, advocate critical thinking? And let's have a look at, so the opposite of that will be uncritical thinking. So again, let's go back to the definition of words. What does uncritical thinking mean to you? Not to be analytical. Also, so get the mic, because this is to let your voice be heard.
Not analyzing or not analytical.
Yeah, continue. What can you build on that? When someone's not analytical,
I think of the word.
when people don't question things, what does that put them into the realm of? They just accept things at face value?
Assumptions.
Assumption, yeah.
Assumption.
Right. Okay, well done. This is what it says when you Google that as well. Uncritical thinking is the tendency to accept information at face value without questioning, analyzing, or verifying its validity. It often relies on emotions, internal biases, or group consensus rather than objective facts, frequently resulting in overconfidence, superficial problem solving, and confirmation bias. Understanding the difference between this passive acceptance of information and active objective reasoning is vital for everyday decision making. Analyzing how different cognitive styles operate and can help you avoid common pitfalls. Let's stop there. Now, the thing about it is that when people are in the working environment, they would use, when they go to work, they use critical thinking to analyze things. They do things in a certain set pattern to gain the best results in their occupation. But when they step outside of work, it's like the light switches off and all cognition, like the light bulb goes off and all logic goes out the window. I remember one sister said to me that there's this guy who's a gynecologist and believes in the Adam and Eve story, meaning that woman came out of man. And she goes, how could he, as a gynecologist, he would have studied science, he would know that, that it is men came from women and not the other way round. Yet, because he's religious, he accepts that. Now, the thing is that nature, or the creative forces of nature, doesn't do one-offs. It doesn't happen like that. And that also is the scientific method of evaluation. Scientists, when they're evaluating anything, they want to see repeated results to see whether it's just a one-off or it can be scientifically verified. So the forces of nature is like that. The forces of nature don't do one-off. If, according to the Bible story, if man, Genesis chapter 2, verse 19 reading onwards, if woman came out of man, then that should be a continuity.
Continuous pattern.
A continuous pattern, a rhythm. That is how the forces of nature works. For example, I was talking to a guy at work the other day, and he said to me, talk to me about the creative forces. And I said to him, well, the same way how the creative forces, and you know, I use the word forces, which is a plural. I said, the same way how the creative forces grew the universes, the sun, moon, and stars, the same methodology is what a woman uses in her body to form a child when the sperm fertilizes the egg, and that process in the woman's womb, the formulation from an egg into a fetus, etc., that is the same processes how the creative forces create the sun, moon, and stars and the universe. The same processes. That means then that we are a part of the creative forces, and the creative forces are a part of us. So can you see the continuity? Now, what happens is that if there is an interception now, meaning that there's an outside interference, now you create what's referred to as unnatural. Unnatural. So that means then that they would, is what they call it. They call it, as the word they use right now, is artificial intelligence. So the most use is alien intelligence, or we say African intelligence. But the highest form of technology is mental technology. Okay, so oops. So let's continue. So any questions thus far before we continue?
Yes,
Go ahead, Samuel. I remember to use the
I
mic.
haven't got the book with me, but one of those books,
Remember to use the mic, please.
yes. In one of the books, I've always thought to myself, men and women relationship is natural. But this book led me to understand that there are some people with an extra maybe chromosome or whatever it was, that they are, what is it? If a man is XY and a woman is whatever a woman is, chromosomes, then there's some women have got an extra female aspect, and some men have got an extra female aspect or something like that. So they're hermaphrodites or something.
Yeah.
Is that an exception or a variation or whatever? Or
Okay, yeah.
the natural law?
Yeah, the master put it like this. He said that the first beings on here were neuter gender. Yeah, I said neuter gender, that's the term they use, right? Meaning that there were hermaphrodites and hermaphrodites. It wasn't the hermaphrodite or the hermaphrodites basically was saying that a female would have a female body, but should have a masculine spirit within inside of her, or a male will have a masculine body, but a feminine spirit within inside of him. And the determining factor is you, the feminines. You're the one who determines the personality of the child. You know, depending on the, basically the mindset of the mother, determining factor. You see, so people say that, oh well, it's not like a feminine who has male genitalia or a male who has female genitalia. That is abnormal.
Some people call it intersex.
Intersex, I don't know that word, but that is abnormal. But the original beings were neuter gender. See, and the females were giving birth to female, because since the feminines were here first on the planet, they were giving birth first. It was women giving birth to women, or feminines giving birth to feminines, because of a gland that's inside of you, which is called the Bartholin gland. The Bartholin gland right now in many feminines are maimed. But what's going to happen is later on down the line, if it's maimed, then that means that it's just been switched off, and we are entering in the new daytime and cycle where it will be switched back on.
How do you spell that word?
Bartholin, Bartholin, Bartholin gland. The male equivalent is called a bulbal urethral gland. Let me just read an excerpt from the Black Book with records of Autumnbray, where the master explains this. You can find it straight away. Right.
Autumnbray, R-E-Y.
What's that? Autumnbray.
R-E-Y, is it?
What's that?
You mentioned some name, Autumnbray.
Oh yeah, Sacred Records of Autumnbray. Oh, the Black Book. Say the Black Book. Okay, the Black Book. Okay.
The spelling of Ray is R-E-Y.
R-E.
R-E.
Or we say Ray, R-A-Y-A-Y. Yeah. I just want to read an excerpt about that. The Bartholin gland. I've got it here. And this is from the Black Book here, Sacred Records of Autumn, or the Black Book of Sacred Records of Autumnbray, page 53. And it reads this. Right, this is verse 131. If you look at the phonetics of the word nurture, like the sound, phonetics is sound. If you look at the phonetics of the word nurture, you can hear nature. They stem from the same root word, yet man is considered a part of nature. Question, and should he not be? 132. Actually, no. Based on the meaning of the word nature, which finds its root in nurture. Yet you must ask yourself, were beings here before nature, or was nature here before the human being? The meaning is self-explanatory. Nature was here before man, because nature is actually absolute, infinite, and eternal. Absolute totality, infinite, boundless, and eternal, timeless. That's nature, or natural nature. The word nurture is to breastfeed, which is the key signature of a mammal. And a man does not breastfeed its young, which puts him in the manifestation of nature, not the manifester of nature, which is the mother. Hear that? I'll read that bit again. The word nurture is to breastfeed, which is the key signature of a mammal, and a man does not breastfeed its young, which puts him in the manifestation of nature, not the manifester of nature, which is the mother. So that's why we say Mother Nature, because she's the one who nurtures all, because everything has its inception and conception in the womb of the mother. Now, since that is the case, that would mean then, or do you think that means then that God, for lack of a better word, is a feminine? When we say the word omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, omnibenevolent, the word om goes back to the mother. So would the creator, the manifester, be feminine?
I would say yes.
Yes.
I would say if there exists man and woman, then in the original force or whatever you want to call it, original being, there must be male and female. That's how I've always understood it.
Yeah. You're right. There is a feminine and masculine principle. There's principles, but if we say that nature is absolute, infinite, and eternal, and we just read there that nature, or the manifester of nature, is the mother, and we use the term, when people say the omnipotent and the omniscient, omnibenevolent, etc., anything om pertains to the feminine,
All right.
according to the word that's been used. You see?
The root meaning, you mean the roots?
The root meaning would be, and the word mother, M, other, that word M is, or that letter M is actually 1000 in Latin. 1000. Yeah, the M is 1000
In Roman, I think.
in Roman numerals, yeah. And the three zeros relate to space, matter, and time. And you got, so it'd be the M, other, always takes you back to the females. And here the word male is inclusive of females. You get me? I've got a question. How come the mother is the only nurturer? The mother is God. She grows each being, male or female, in her womb. And you look at the word womb, you see if you look at the word matrix, you see the word matrix comes from the word matter, M-A-T-E-R, matter, or mater, which takes you back to the females. M-A-T-E-R. Okay. Now, here it is now. Question: can she perform this act without a male? Yes. It was obviously the original way, and in many cases, this still happens to this day. Stop there. Did you know that when the sperm fertilizes the egg, as when conception starts to occur, within the female, the mother's body, it looks upon that, the sperm, as an invader. So a protection has to be built around it so as not to kill off the sperm as it's fertilizing the egg and growth starts to occur. So for that to take place would then infer that sexual reproduction is not really the original process. So it's naturally been inbuilt in her. So the forces of nature within inside of her says, no, a protection has to be contingency plans have to be put in place so that as a protection. Okay, it's the forces of nature. Now the master said it like this, that when people say, so do you believe in God? So we say, well, let's put it like this. Our parents are our personal creators with the help of the forces of nature, making the forces of nature our impersonal creators. You see? Now, what has happened is that how we've been taught, especially in religion, is that there's only one God and he does this, he does that. The devil, oh, he does this, he does that. The angels, he does this, he does that. The prophets, he does this, he does that. So where does that leave the female then? She's not in the picture. She's the X factor, the unknown factor. So when we talk about critical thinking, these are the type of mental processing that we have to deploy when anybody tells us anything. I just want to stop there. So before I continue, anybody got any questions thus far?
Got a question.
Oh, so you got some question? Go ahead, Samuel.
Yeah. So my question is, you said earlier that the universe and nature is eternal.
That's right, yeah.
So my question is that basically, you know, they say that eventually planet Earth will come to an end and other planets like that will cease to exist.
Right.
So is it that, say, for example, when planet Earth, you know, cease to exist, can the universe ever be destroyed, or is it will always remain? Is my question essentially.
All right, yeah. That's a good question. So when you say the universe, what do you mean?
I mean, the universe in its entirety, including the planets, the solar system, everything, will always be there, regardless of with how many planets. Because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but even when planets get destroyed, aren't there also constantly new planets being formed, also as well?
That's right. But
Yeah.
head now. That's a very good point you brought out there, Zamal. Now, if you read Genesis chapter 1, verse 1, it reads, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, right?
Mhm.
The earth is the planet Earth. Take away the earth, you live with, you're left with the heavens.
Mm.
In the heavens, we got the sun, moon, and stars, right? Take away the sun, moon, and stars, and what have you got left?
The heavens,
Yeah, you got the heavens, right? Or let's say the universe.
universe, yeah, yeah.
So according to that point, when God created the heavens, that means that would infer then that even the universes were created. So that means that a universe also has universes are physical as well as non-physical. Okay.
Okay, okay.
That means then that space was created. So anything that's created or grown means like everything else that is physical, it grows, it matures, it declines, and it dies. So it grows. So that's a line there, the horizontal line. Everything that is created or grown, it grows, it matures, as it reaches peak, it declines, and it dies.
Mhm.
It goes back into darkness. So it's like a circle. Get me?
Yeah.
Like a circle. Now, universes or space, the master puts it as space is the unmoved mover. It doesn't move, but it facilitates movement. Now, the reason why space was created was to put something in.
Mhm.
The sun, moon, and stars, to put everything in. Now, let's just read something again from the same black book, and it reads, this is, I'm going to lose this page here. Right. This is the black book again, page 256. This is how we, what's the word? Reading things out. This is critical thinking. We've got to use processes. This is the black book, page 256. Scroll 3, the signs of the circle and square. I'm just going to read a few lines here. And it reads, in order to create something, S-O-M-E, something, or S-U-M-E, hear this now. In order to create something, the Nitiru, or also known as the Nitiru, the ancient ones, headed by a group of Rei called Atunrei, Amunrei, created a state of nothingness in which to place the 9 elements or attributes of this state by Hu-He, the eternal, or things on this side of H1 hydrogen. So, I'll read that bit again. In order to create something, the Nitiru, headed by a group of rays, created a state of nothingness. What does that word nothingness mean to you? In order to create something, they had to create nothingness or nothing.
Nothingness. Right? Yeah. What I would say.
It's space. So they had to create, let's say space, but it's got here nothingness. So it means they had to create a state which is known as the spiritual realm. That's what people say. Or we would say, to be more precise, we would say the etheric realm, the non-physical realm. So in order to, we said that the word to create means to grow. So they had to grow nothingness or the etheric realm in order to place something in. It's like creating this bottle here. Let's say this bottle is nothingness. I had to create this bottle here to put something in the water. So a container. So let's say, you're right, let's say the container is space. So these higher beings created space or grew space in order to put something in. So would that mean that they exist in a state outside of nothingness?
Up to you.
That?
Up to you.
That sounds
I have a question.
must mean that
Hang on, Zilla.
must mean if they're creating something where there was nothing, then it means that they are spiritual beings, or as you maybe use the language ethereal.
That's right, I like that word, yeah.
I'm not so. I haven't really connected deeply with that word ethereal.
But you will in a minute.
But so I hesitate to use that word because I don't really know the implications of that word. But I know the words non-physical or spiritual or.
I use words that you can relate to, and yeah.
But, so I mean, yes, yeah, non-physical beings can create something in the nothing. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah. Yeah. Well done. Yomi, you want to say something, Yomi?
Yeah, I'm still trying to follow what you've been saying in terms of the horizontal pattern you explained earlier in the physical realm of something coming to existence and then not existing anymore. With regards to the universe, because you said that the material exists outside of the physical. So my question really is that, like, can the physical elements of the universe cease to exist, or will they always be here?
Yeah.
And then what space will just remain is what I mean. Would there be no planets, no things of that nature one day?
Yeah, well, you know that sun, moon, and stars, they also have a lifespan.
Yes,
They have a
exactly.
lifespan.
Yes.
And like you said earlier on, that things born, grow, die, and the cycle repeats itself.
Yes.
More planets will born, grow, and die. Stars are born, grown, and die. So it's just a cycle of natural nature. That it operates off of the law called change.
Mm.
You see,
So that cycle's continuous. It never stops. It never stops.
never stops, never stops. That's life's cycle. You know, that's the cycle of life. But the time duration to us in the physical seems to be eternity. Because of this thing called time, and also because of our consciousness. But we are in a day, time, and cycle whereby our consciousness is beginning to expand. And that's why Wu-Sabat is here, to expand our consciousness, to be in alignment with this higher frequency that's interpenetrating the planet. And as our consciousness starts to expand by way of right knowledge, or we would say cognitive thinking processes, we'll be able to assimilate more information. When we assimilate new information, we begin to use a greater portion of our brain. We begin to use, when I say greater portion of our brain, we're talking about the brain cells, the neurons, and the communication network between one neuron and another neuron is called a synapse. New synapses are being created. And as new synapses are created, also new neurons are also being created. The term is called neuroplasticity. You see? Go ahead, Samuel.
I read in the book that we may use less than 10% of our brain, or even less than 1% or something like that.
Yeah, people say that. What it is that we are, if you're using less than 1% of your brain, then you'd be like a vegetable. No, we are continuously we use 100% of our brain capacity, okay? Because different portions of our body requires the use of different portions of our brain. But what they really should say is our ability to access is accessibility, which is another thing. Because once we are able to access greater portions of our brain at random, what can't we do? Because you'll be able to, everything and anything you imagine to do, you'll be able to do. You'll be able to walk through this wall because now you are using a greater portion of our brain. However, that can be intercepted, meaning that extraterrestrials can come, vibrate, raise up your body frequency to a level whereby they can take you physically and walk you through the wall. Okay, physically, and bring you back. Take you upon the cross, wherever. Okay. When you a person, when we go to sleep, it's a good one. No, it's a good one. When you go to sleep, do you know that you're using a great portion of your brain as well? When you go to sleep, certain portions of your brain shuts down, and other portions of the brain opens up. So when we are sleeping, we're moving interdimensionally. And we always say this is that if your eyes was open, how it is right now, in your dream state, you won't be able to see anything. Because when you're dreaming, did you know that what you see in your dreams is moving at a faster frequency than you are physically? Because that's why I don't know if you ever had that sensation whereby you seem to be vibrating when you between sleep and awake, your body's kind of shaking because your body is vibrating on a faster frequency, and momentarily you're able to leave the body by way of we have a etheric cord that connects our non-physical to our physical. So when we're sleeping and we're dreaming, it momentarily expands, and that's why we're able to travel the planes. And that's why we are able to see our relatives who've crossed over when we are dreaming. That lets you know that death is not the finality of existence or life. Or let's say that when we die, we live what's referred to as an extended life. Some of us do not fulfill our mission or our purpose, so you have to come back here again to finish off the lesson, okay, or the experiences.
Can, when we say we have to return to complete our mission or destiny or whatever you want to say it is, can our next generations, like our sons, grandsons, can they not continue what we were supposed to do?
Yeah, that's a very good point there. You see, you are composition of not just your spirit, your personality, but your mother and father going down 4 generations. Going down 4 generations. These are the most influential in your life. And you've got agreeable and disagreeable personalities within inside of us. Now, it's a matter, you may have a disagreeable relative who's crossed over, blood relative, and they're inside of you, and they will coerce you to drink. The more you drink, the more you feed in them. And let's say they're in the back of the bus, they will want to come forward and hold on to the steering wheel, which is your life. And the more you feed into them, you're giving them, they want to experience physical life through you. So now you also got those now ancestors who have, those ones who want to experience physical life, I may add, is that they have not reached the level to transcend the higher planes. So your ancestors who have crossed over cannot reach them. However, you who is alive can elevate yourself to the degree whereby you ascend, and your ancestors, because you ascended and you got those ancestors who live in the physical life through you, as you stop drinking now, you're no longer feeding those forces. And as you ascend, they too will ascend up to a point whereby the ancestors on the other side can grab hold of their hand and elevate. That makes you a messiah or a savior to your own genealogy. Meaning that you may have brothers and sisters or whatever, but they're not into Wu-Sabat or Wu-Sabat, but you are. And you elevate, as you elevate, your ancestors also elevate. You make it, and they all make it. See? Because it's through the bloodline. See? Follow that? And the most important, really, is you, the feminines. You, the mother goddess, or the mother nurturers, or the mother natures. You see?
No.
I was sorry to say something. Go ahead.
I had a question. Yeah. My question is related to what you were saying before. What does the master teacher say with regards to the existence and the future of original man on this planet? In the sense that, some species cease to exist, like, for example, dinosaurs, they became extinct. And they say that eventually Earth will cease to exist. So my question is, would there be a time where original man, let's not say all human beings, but original man, for example, what does Marcy say about original man physically existing in this universe when planet Earth ceased to exist? Where do we go? what happens to us? Do we will we become extinct on the physical realm, or will we always be here? Is what I'm trying to get at.
Okay, here it is. That's a good question. The big, massive dinosaurs, Tyrannosaurus Rex and whatever, saber-toothed tiger, mammoth, whatever, they don't exist, not, unless they're on some island like Jurassic Park. But here it is. Their evolutionary offsprings are still around.
Okay, yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
Now, remember that with that train of thought, remember what we was in the waters before we came on land.
Mm.
Okay? Those beings that were under the waters are no longer existing physically, but that I know of. However, we are their evolutionary descendants. The first water beings were known as the hydro pygmies or the hydropataites. Okay? The water beings from Ptah. Okay, so now we are their evolutionary descendants. So all you have to do, we've done this so many times, is open up your hands like this, and you can see the webs or remnants of webs between your fingers. Look at your face, your palm, your hand. Look at your palm, your hands. Can you see
Yes.
the webs?
Yes.
You can see the webs in between your
Mm.
fingers. You look closely, you can see little squares there. See little squares on your skin? Scales, remnants of scales.
Wow.
Still there, isn't it? Right. And you know that if you don't put water or cocoa butter on your skin, it turns,
No, I said
moisturizer. You don't put Nivea, as you talk about. If you don't put moisturizer on your skin,
And
it starts
scaly.
to get ashy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the remnants are still there.
reptilians.
Yeah, we was under the reptilian trade. We got the water trade, because we are really water beings. We are really water beings, That's why the planet Earth is 75% water. We should intake our diet should be 75% water based. We should take X amount of water every day to keep us hydrated. You see. So now your question is now, would original man cease to exist?
Yeah.
No, we would always exist. The master teacher put it like this: the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. You're talking about on the planet Earth. The first shall be last, we used to hear first, and the last shall be the first to go.
Mm.
Now, when the master says we do not die, meaning that we would transform into Ethereans. See, so a transformation process would occur. He mentions that in the holy tablets.
Could you say that again? That the first shall be last and the last
Shall be first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to read.
The Bible.
Right, I just want to read an excerpt from the holy tablets that pertains to that. And this is the chapter 6 of the holy tablets.
That's not the same book there. Atum Ray. You said the black book.
Oh yeah, the black book's a smaller one.
Oh, okay.
This is the holy.
black cover as well.
Yeah. This is the.
Is the Black Book by Dr. York?
Yeah. All these scrolls are by the master, Dr. York. This one of his titles is Autumnray. You see, apart from Yanun. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So this is the holy tablets that came out about year 1996. This holy tablets was put forth to make clear those religious books couldn't make clear. And there are scrolls or tablets that predate your Bible and Quran is also in here as well. Tablets of Adifar, generation of Abraham, etc. It's all in here as well. So I want to read the brother's question about us ceasing to exist. Have a look here. Reading from page. Let's have a look now. Okay, let's read from here. This tablet, chapter 6, tablet 15. I want to read from verse. Okay, let's read from verse 183. Page 643, the Holy Tablets, verse 183 is called this is the human beast. It reads, through this process, the whole body can biomagnetically be recoded and to adapt to a new biological environment without ever having to experience pain according to the human physiological network. Stop there. Meaning that, say human beings, say something happened on the planet Earth, and we had to leave the planet Earth, the higher beings, the higher beings can alter our body composition. This process of 184, this process uses a fifth circulatory system, which opens the pain coding mechanism and properly realigns the blood, lymphatic, and nervous circulatory systems to function in different biological environments. You might have to go off the planet, and so certain modifications will need to be done to your human body, or you may need to go underwater. Certain modifications will need to be done to live in that environment. Okay, this is done on A5. This is done in the event that a transfer of the species to a new environment is necessary for the survival of the Nawapians. Got here 186. This is why our electromagnetic state of evolution will itself be changed to allow for new patterns of ongoing evolution. I think let's jump to 188. It reads, these changes can take place in a matter of hours and remove whole species that have evolved in a geological time frame. I continue reading. It's very interesting as well. And this ties into your question as well, Yomi. It's got here 189. In order for enocytes, when you say enocytes, it's really talking about Nawapians, isn't it? In order for enocytes to work with the next electron orbital level of the universal mind for all, your molecular density will have to become less dense and grow more transparent in order to participate in multi-dimensional realities. 190. Inner sights must be completely remade anew. Thus you have the Nuwabian or the new being. N-E-W, new being. You may hear the word new being. New being. But in Mispatia, in the language, if you was able to read the Mispatia, it becomes really clear when you step outside of the word Nubian. The word we use is Munbat'u. The word Munbat or Nabat means gold, meaning that those who are the golden ones, the golden children, the golden race. It's really clear when you step outside of the English and you go into other languages.
When you say golden children, that movie called The Golden Child, is that any connected reference?
That's with Eddie Murphy.
Yes, just because it's called a golden child. He has special spiritual abilities.
Yeah. The thing, when you use the word special, it's not really special because those, you should substitute the word special for innate. These are abilities and capabilities that are innate within inside of each and every one of us. Now, in order for those innate abilities to become activated, there's a gland that needs to be also activated, if not inserted, then activated, and that gland is called the barythyroid gland. Because the barythyroid gland is that gland that gave us random access to the divine. So a person may have the barythyroid gland, someone says it's by the hippocampus region of the brain originally, and then it'd be
Is it not in
the
here?
chin, yeah, the submental, yeah. Submental meaning that which reacts with the mental, yeah, the barythyroid gland. Now, the barythyroid gland is that gland that will that be controlled by the higher beings, you see. Because in order for that to be activated, we need to be found worthy. But there are people walking the planet Earth that do have the barythyroid gland, but it's not in full activation. How do you think people who are able to move almost at will astrally, they're called the remote viewers, how are they able to do that? Or people who read tarot cards, how are they able to do that? People who are able to, you go to people who read tarot cards and they're able to look at the card, look at you and say, yeah, blah, 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 blah. How are they able to do that? So they must have portions of the barythyroid gland in activation. But there are forces who have access to the astral plane and would relay certain information to them, and put it like that. Because you know that if you do some research on that,
Are they humanoid?
no, they're Ethereans. Oh, well, humanoid, some of them are humanoid looking. Yeah, because a lot of the people, like your world leaders, the billionaires, they all know about this science. And let me give an example. Like Farrakhan is an example. He says, it came to me the other day. He says, no one can touch him because Almighty God Allah is protecting him. And he says that often, I said, oh, okay then. I know what you're saying. He is aware of those forces that are protecting him in the astral plane. But he says it like that, so Almighty God Allah is protecting me. That's why they can't touch him. But people click on and say, oh, I know what he's saying. And all of them, Trump, Putin, all of them, billionaires, they all know about it. They all got forces behind them. They all got forces behind them in the astral plane. And some of them, right, you listen to remote viewers, they say that we can only go so far because some of these forces are disagreeable. You know what I mean? Did Michael Jackson have that? I'm not too sure. He could have done. Remember, they all ascribe and subscribe to the same country club, don't they? You know what I mean? They all pay their dues, and all of them do.
The old Masons or what?
Not necessarily, don't have to be Mason for that, you know what I mean? But they got their own secret societies. They all know about these forces that are behind them. You know what I mean? That are protecting them. Yeah. So
No,
You were saying that when we reach a certain level, this gland will be activated.
yeah.
So what is that? Is that related in any way at all to when you activate your Kundalini at a certain point?
Yeah, you see, with the Kundalini now, because you're talking about the chakras.
Yeah, the top one.
You go on YouTube and people say, go on YouTube, how to activate the pineal gland. Well, the pineal gland is the top one, you know what I mean? I personally would say it's like this. It's what the master said, not I say. It's what the master said. We are our own master, but you need a spiritual master to help guide you through the spiritual realm, because there are doorways that, if you're not well versed, entities could come and take over. You know what I mean? Take over your body. I mean, because there's a group of entities that are, want to get through to the physical. I mean, and drive you crazy. You see, so another.
So the pineal gland is the one,
Yeah,
and the barytheric.
the barytheric gland. Mark said it will be planted beneath something.
Is it that when we were born, I think some of us, the pineal gland was removed?
Yeah, when he says remove, you have to look at it like this: is that you have to look at things from a genetic perspective, that the information within the DNA to grow that wasn't coded. You know what I'm saying? Because the instruction within your DNA wasn't placed inside the instruction to grow the barytheric gland wasn't placed, or the coding wasn't placed in your DNA for it to grow. The master said like this, that Wu-Sabat, the doctrine of Wu-Sabat will help for it to regrow once again. Because what it is that we got certain, let's say gland, let's say DNA, you talk about chromosomes. Okay. And you got certain chromosomes that are not inactive, but partially active, partially inactive. So Wu-Sabat is that doctrine, is that information that will help reactivate these chromosomes that are partially active. I don't know if I'm making sense. And with these chromosomes being activated will also engage certain portions of our brain to become heightened as well. Okay. For example, there are portions of the brain, I won't go into technical terms, but okay. I think Yomi, you had something to say, Samuel?
Yes, I had a question. There's a twofold question. When something happens to planet Earth, according to Mars teacher, in terms of when we have to become crafts to leave, where is the final destination planet Risk?
I don't know about the final destination, like some type of movie, the final destination.
Well, what I mean is that where we go to, or do we go? Is there other realms we go to, or is it just planet Risk? Or
what he did say is that, well, if you make the higher heights, you go to Risk, but he didn't just stop at Risk, because you be able to move interdimensionally. You go to different universes, different galaxies, etc., etc., etc. He said these are those who make the grade.
Sorry. Could you back up a bit? There's more than one universe.
Yeah, we got what do you call it?
Multi-
Multiverses and
Oh, yeah.
omniverse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just wonder, with that being said, did you know there's a quote in the Bible, John chapter 8, verse 32, and it says this, I think you all must have heard this: ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall, is that right? Or is it make you free? Yeah. Yeah. And there's a difference. Now let's read that verse again. Ye shall know the truth. The word shall is in the future tense. So obviously, when Jesus made that statement, he wasn't talking about his brethren, his brethren, what are the brethren called? The disciples. And ye shall know the truth. So what truth was he talking about? Because he could have been talking about the Torah or the law, because he had the scribes, the Pharisees, and the Sadducees, etc., etc. They already had their knowledge, so he must have been talking about another truth, another level of knowledge. And the thing is, if he said, "Ye shall know the truth," what truth is he talking about? He's talking about the truth of that knowledge that he learned while he was in Egypt.
Oh, yeah, more like it, yeah.
Mm.
That's what made me think that I should go beyond the Bible, is because the main characters, Abraham, Moses, and Jesus, all ended up in Egypt. So if they all ended up in Egypt, my thinking was, well, that's where that must be the origin of all those religions then. So then, therefore, why am I wasting my time sticking with the Bible? There's something more I need to know.
Do you know something? You're not wasting your time sticking with the Bible. You're wasting your time if you just stick to the Bible.
All right. Yeah.
But you're not wasting your time if you just stick to the Bible, because remember, you without a doubt, we will come across people who are religious. So you got to know how to talk to them on their level, and hear this, raise them up the same way how you or we are being raised up.
Yeah, but the Bible seems to point to Egypt for some reason.
Right, yeah. So
Because Moses, Jesus, Abraham,
Two
they all
went to-
ended up there at one
Yeah.
point or another.
yeah, according to the Bible, yeah,
To the Bible.
yeah.
So that must be the sign.
There must be something in Egypt.
Yes.
Yeah. So going back to that quote, John 8:32 says, "Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." And the word "set you free" means to be set free means that you are in bondage, you are imprisoned. To make you free means you'll be transformed. The truth will transform you. From what to what? From a mere mortal to an immortal being, into a deity like Jesus. He was a deity. That's why if you go to Matthew chapter 1, verse 23, I think that's right. Go to Matthew chapter 1, verse 23, and it says, Emmanuel, his son named Emmanuel, which is God with us. So to say he is born named Emmanuel, God with us, that means then that he too was an avatar. Or in Bisbati or Arabic, the word they use will be illa mutajasud, a divine being in human form, just like the master. He says, and Emmanuel. Or in Arabic, they use the word Allah ma'ana. Allah ma'ana would mean Allah is with us. You see? So now, if the quote says, "He shall know the truth, and truth shall make you free." The word "make" is to transform you. The truth or the knowledge will transform you from being just a mere mortal into an immortal being, transform you into a deity like your Lord and Savior Jesus was. Something that he learned whilst he was in Egypt. So you're right, why does it always keep pointing to Egypt? Why does it keep pointing in Egypt? Why is Moses read? Even though, if you went to the religious person and say, can you prove it? What proof do you have that Abraham went to Egypt, Jesus went to Egypt, Moses went to Egypt? They can't give it to you. There's no verification. But however, there is something in Egypt. And you're right, it's the origin or the source of knowledge. The source of the highest mystery schools are in Egypt. Okay, but when we say Egypt, the term we use is Tamare. Some people use the word Kemet, Mahmat, or the black land, but we say Tamare. The Ta pertaining to the earth, the Ma pertaining to water, and the Ray pertaining to the sun. Okay.
Haptwy,
Go ahead, Samuel.
Yeah. Can an immortal being exist in this physical realm where things normally born and die and expire? Because you talked about immortality. Is that
Yeah,
possible?
yeah, they can. An immortal being, what they would do, an immortal being can send a portion of their essence to this planet, like in the case of the Master Yanun. He sends a portion of his essence and incarnates into the Master Teacher. He's an immortal being, and but he's omnipresent, meaning he's everywhere at the same time. You see, but hear this now. We too are we too are omnipresent, but we're not cognitive of that faculty, or we haven't raised ourselves up to those levels of cognition. Go ahead.
Zama, I'm not really following the sense that what I mean is it possible for a physical being in this realm to not die,
Oh
be
no,
immortal?
no, because no, you no, now everything that's physical has an expiration date.
Okay. So when you were talking about immortality earlier, in what do you mean in other realms when you're saying immortal?
Yeah, outside of the physical realm.
Okay. Okay.
But hear this though. You live on through, or we live on through our progeny, those who we leave behind. You live on through them. And
Mm.
not only that, through the spirit, not only that, but the master said, if you do one great thing, all you need to do is one great thing that your name
Lives on.
lives on, you will still be alive.
Mm.
You see? So all them being, and they don't have to be good, 'cause look at Hitler. Look at all them demons, they still live on. So don't mean that because you have to be good a saint. You could be the devil and your name lives on. So by the it's reality,
That's
isn't
a
it?
great thing then.
Yeah. Mm.
Like, with Hitler.
Yeah. He lives on. You watch the the more channels. They always talk about Hitler and his henchmen. Hitler and his henchmen. Hitler and his henchmen. So they're in actuality venerating Hitler. How about the high priest, Einstein? Still lives on. I mean, so yeah. So they use those forces to help propagate. Um, they use they use those disagreeable forces to help propagate the negativity within the Earth's atmosphere. They know what they're doing. Okay. So any questions before we
Yes,
continue? Go ahead, Simon.
You're saying we all could be omnipresent.
Yeah.
Used to be an old expression called cosmic consciousness.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's connected to something up here or according to the Hindu system. Yeah, when your spirit become completely connected to the universe and cosmos,
Yeah. Mm.
as far as I don't know.
Yeah, the word they use right now, the scientific term is quantum entanglement, meaning that we are all entangled, or we are all connected together on a quantum level, on a subatomic level. We all are connected to the sun, moon, and stars. Yeah, so we exist on multiple realities, multiple dimensions. That's why the master says that that's why we should study quantum physics. And I always say this, go on YouTube and the most tap in there's a documentary on YouTube called What the Bleep Do You Know? Bleep, BLEEP. What the bleep do you know? It'll come up and It's an old video, and they break it down really simply. It's a documentary. You may need to listen for a few times. It's a really, really good video. Breaks down quantum physics, quantum mechanics, and quantum entanglements, etc., etc., etc. You know what I mean? And different timelines, because quantum physics / quantum mechanics is spirituality explained scientifically. Now, Wu-Sabat, we say that Wu-Sabat is the science of sciences and the science in sciences, meaning that it's the science of sciences, meaning that Wu-Sabat is the mother of sciences. And when we say the science in sciences, what we are saying is all the sciences that you can think of, all the sciences that is known and or unknown, is all contained within Wu-Sabat or Nawapo. All of them. Okay, so go ahead, Simone.
When you said a physical being, i.e. Hitler, done something great and his name is on, but it doesn't have to mean that he did something good, did something bad. Would those spiritual, would those beings affect us as well in our life? Okay.
Yeah, if the more attention we give to a thing, the more it will perpetuate within the atmosphere. Now, what we should do is venerate or give reverence to our great leaders, teachers, inventors, etc., etc. Acknowledge them, our deities, acknowledge them, because the more we acknowledge them, those forces will start to permeate, those 9 etheric forces will start to permeate the atmosphere. Those living forces will start to permeate the atmosphere. You see? So the more attention we give to those dead forces, the more we are prolonging their stay within the atmosphere. But what's happening though now is that people's consciousness is elevating. People are becoming more aware. And as they become more aware, we will eventually become entangled together. You see? But it's not going to happen without a fight. Okay. Go ahead. Well,
Yeah, I was wondering what being that we're in a heat wave at the moment, I was wondering what the master teacher says about the weather. Is it that the Adamites control the weather, and did our ancestors used to control the weather? Our ancient ancestors.
no, our ancestors are always controlling the weather, because remember that when we use the word Re, you know, Re in Egypt is what we got as the Most High. There are trillions of rays, but ultimately the higher beings are the ones who are controlling, are in control. They do, on the planet Earth, the disagreeables do have weather machines, such as the HARP project. They do have weather machines.
What did you call it? The HARP project?
The HARP project.
Okay.
I think it's HAAARP.
Okay.
High altitude something research project. HARP. I think if you type in HARP project, it'll come up.
Mm-hmm.
They do have weather machines to control the weather, but the heat wave that you're experiencing right now is all part of natural nature.
It's natural. It's not them.
It's not them. It's natural, part of natural nature. To take them out. Yeah. All we have to do is really we should embrace it. And one thing we have to do is embrace it, and we should also look at our diet as well. certain foods or certain drinks we used to be drinking apart from water. I do recommend having like if you have water, put some okra in the water because okra water helps to change the structure of the water. That's it. Because structured water helps to penetrate into the cells of the body and hydrates the mitochondria. Because the mitochondria within the cell is what gives the cell its vitality and energy. So what I do is I get some lime and some oranges, juice that, chop up some okra, put it in there, and then that slimy bit of the okra, that slimy bit is what helps to change the structure of the water. I'd also recommend using cloves, get a few cloves.
Add it to the water as well.
Yeah, well, I know about cucumber, but cucumber does that is that's also structured, water based because any water based fruits and veg is structured, so it helps to you're right. It helps to hydrate the cells of the body. You see, the regular water that we drink doesn't hydrate the cells. It's the cells that need to be hydrated. The water is meant to penetrate into into the cell wall and into the mitochondria to help hydrate that and give you, because that's the energy sustaining organelle within the cell, right? So, but when you put like cloves now, that also helps to clean out the kidneys, and that also helps in keeping the body hydrated as well. So that's another thing. And put it in there. And what you should do is when you put it in, leave it for a while, the cloves for a while, it gets soft, and you should ingest that as well because it's also antibacterial and a lot. So all these little things, good
You
properties.
can eat.
Yeah. When you keep it in the water for a while, and about an hour or so, starts to get soft. Yeah, I need that.
What in the water again, sorry?
Cloves. Yeah.
Cloves,
Yeah.
cloves.
Yeah.
Roughly how long?
About an hour.
No.
About an hour. Yeah, half an hour, an hour.
Aloe vera?
Yeah. All these things, you could, I did it at the same time, but all these natural stuff, will help. And aloe vera, that will help to change them slimy stuff will help to change the structure of the water. You see, and when you use lime now, if you're fortunate, if you get key limes, what key limes do is that when it gets into the body, it becomes alkaline. Do you know that key limes?
Is that KEY?
KEY, I think like KEY key limes, KEY key limes, those with the seeds in, that is acidic, but when it's ingested into the body, it becomes alkaline. You see, things like watermelon with the seeds, so all these things, and water-based fruits and veg, all these water-based whatever, the water is structured water. Yeah.
Haptwy, sorry, could you just expand a bit more on how you said our ancestors are like Ray are always in control of the weather? In what sense? Could you expand on it?
Because they are of nature. They're the ones who created the sun, moon, and stars.
Okay, so they're always in control.
Always in control. Ultimately, they're always in control, no matter what they do, because it's just because remember that the cycles, they're the ones who are in control of the cycles.
Yeah.
I know you've got higher extraterrestrials who would try to disrupt the pattern, but ultimately the Natharu or the Riskians or the higher beings, the Etherians, are ultimately in control. Okay, go ahead, Samantha.
Should we be wearing sunscreen?
No, because you got it built in. You don't need it, got melanin. No, we come from the oven. We come from the oven. They need the sun. Why would you? They need to protect themselves from the sun because the sun is their enemy. You know what I mean, we got the more melanin you have, the more protected you are. You see. So no, they need the sunscreen. You know what I mean? They need to block the sun from giving them skin cancer. We need the sun to activate the melanin live inside of us.
That's why they need tanning shops, is it?
They need tanning shops, yeah. Well, the tanning shops now is for them to look like us. You know what I mean? Yeah, but no, we don't need that. The sun is part of is our relatives. It's our relatives. Sun and the stars are our relatives. Okay. Hey, it's like we got off the class topic, isn't it? What's the class called? What's the class called again? Say.
Thinking.
Yeah, critical thinking. Yeah. Okay, so when we talk about critical thinking, we talk about facts as opposed to belief, and this is something here I read that a few times, but I'd like to read that again, especially since you're doing this subject matter here, and how facts can be verified by way of experience, evidence, and reason. Now it's got here, finding the facts. Facts are actual, tangible things. Now, remember I said we would break down the words. What does the word tangible mean?
Real?
Yeah, continue. Give us what's the word tangible means. Just looking at a phone.
It has a
You
geometric.
can physically experience it and touch it.
That's right. Any more? Tangible?
It touches the circumference.
These facts are actual, tangible things.
Something that is real.
Use the mic, Samantha. You want to educate the people. Go ahead.
Yeah, something that is real by sense of touch.
Okay. So okay, so what have I got here? Tangible. Got here. Something that is real, physical, and capable of being touched, felt, or definitively measured. So facts are actual, tangible things. Something that is real, physical, and capable of being touched, felt, or definitively measured. It means something is concrete and substantial rather than imaginary or abstract.
Has it got a connection with the geometrical meaning?
Geometrical shapes.
Yeah, I mean, when they say a line is tangent to a circle or something, circumference.
Oh, that's something else. That's
something different.
Yeah, you're talking about geometric.
It's actually touching the circumference.
Yeah. You use that analogy also. Something that you could use your sense. You can see it here, taste, touch, and smell. Something that is quantifiable. Something that is concrete and is substantial. That's something that's tangible. So that's what facts are. They are indisputable and incontestable. You can't dispute the facts, and you cannot contest the facts. If something can be contested or disputed, then simply put, it is not really a fact. Facts are not hearsay. It's what facts are not hearsay. I heard somebody said it. Somebody said it 100. Just because somebody said it 100 years ago doesn't mean it's a fact. Because hear this now. If a lie is said often enough, it becomes accepted as the truth. Okay, that's a lie. Herein lies the truth. Rely on jinn, religion. Anyway, okay, it's right there in front of your face. But anyway, facts are not hearsay, rumor, conjecture, assumption, belief, or anything else. They exist as they are and cannot be denied. So this is what I say to the guys at work. Because I always testimony them at work. I'll speak to the guys at work. I say to people, if you have a belief system, regardless of what it is, and it's based on facts, is it still a belief? Yes or no? It's no. If you have a belief system and it's based on facts, and you said it's no longer a belief, then what is the need to believe in anything? if you have the facts.
Mm.
Okay. We'll say something about.
Yeah, it's gone out of my mind. But
Okay. Well, let's continue there, right? The facts, they exist as they are and cannot be denied.
oh yes,
Go ahead.
I read somewhere on Wikipedia or something like that that apes, monkeys, and those kind of beings have white skin and thin lips. So would that suggest that there's some connection between monkeys and what they call Neanderthals? And some people who left Africa mixed with Neanderthal. So I'm just wondering what the significance of that is.
Okay.
The monkeys have white skin and thin lips, and
Yeah.
Neanderthals have white skin and thin lips.
Yeah.
What does that say for modern
Yeah.
humans?
Yeah. What is it?
Thin lips and
Yeah.
white skin.
I just listened to one guy today as happens before I came out, and he got a, I think Omar Johnson, about his name is. He said that he said non-Negroid has Neanderthal DNA in it. We're the only ones on the planet Earth that don't have Neanderthal DNA inside of us. Everybody else has Neanderthal DNA. That's how he dropped it. However, we teach better than that because we teach that we have the Homo naledi, Homo habilis, you have the Denisovans, you have the Cro-Magnon, and you have the Neanderthal. Yeah, you have the Bas tribe. So there are three root races. You see? So let's continue reading. Let's go ahead. It is almost certain that if the fact is solidly entrenched in a chain of evidence, it can really be quashed. And the operative word here is if you have a fact and it's solidly entrenched in the chain of evidence, you can't have one thing and say that because it's one thing, it makes it a fact. A chain is more than one or two links, is it? Okay. A fact is the truth. Obtaining the facts is the primary goal of the investigative process that either exists or they don't. Now, Wu-Sabat is it advocates what's the word, critical thinking, because we should become like an investigator and investigate everything, even the meanings of words, because what it is that we have to pay attention to when people are speaking. If you listen on YouTube, whatever, even when you come to these classes, listen to is the facts, is data, is references being made. Because the master said it like this: don't believe me, check it out. Because he could be lying for you know. The master, don't believe me, check it out. Meaning, what he's saying is that go and research everything that I tell you. And when you research, then you're able to add a bit your intelligence, your knowledge, your foundation starts to increase. So now you're speaking by way of not just what the master wrote, but you've done your research. You've looked into words, and words is really a key component because it's easy to fall back into the spell of belief because the master teacher wrote it. That makes it true. No, it doesn't. It makes it true when you have done your investigation to see whether or not this is fact from fiction. He does say though, the master did say that there can come a time whereby you won't be able to verify what he's saying because it's not in his books. For example, the word Nwapo. They say, where does the word, well, let me Google the Nwapo. You won't be able to find the Nwapo in their search engine because we are the what word is it? We are the holders, the holders of that word Nwapo. So whatever definition we gave it, That is what it is. Now, the master goes and recite a verse in the Bible in Genesis chapter 2, verse 19 to 20, where it says, and about Adam was naming the sun, moon, and stars. And whatever Adam named it, that's what it was. Now, that particular verse, Genesis chapter 2, verse 19 and 20, is talking about God of the Bible was testing Adam to hear his speech and to see if he was able to name those animals that it was taught to him, or the names that he gave them, or basically that was taught to him. So now, going to Nuwapa now, the master put it like this. We hold the sovereign right to what Nuwapa is, because that is something that they didn't name. They didn't give us the name Nuwapa. If you say you're Christian, you're Muslim, you're Hebrew, or Rasta, they know that, oh, there's one of those categories that we gave them to put themselves into. You see?
Zamal Haptwy, just to let you know, you have a hand up on Zoom and a few questions in the chat, yeah?
Oh, go ahead. So, Takuzwa, go ahead. Zamal.
Robert Zamal, can I be heard?
We hear you.
Perfect. I've been trying to submit for the past 40 minutes, but I had issues with my sound. Robert Muisa. Zamal, I created a task force on my family in order to identify our ancestry tree. And then we are faced with two major challenges in order to build the temple, right? Number one, we are unable to get, in terms of names, up to the 4th generation. We have managed to collect 3. But the last 4th generation, we can't find the names. So I'd like to know how to go about it. And second, of course, we don't have pictures. So how do I manage that situation in order to build the temple so I can effectively communicate with my ancestors? I appreciate love.
Oh, that's a good that's a good question. Did you know that if you got their names of your ancestors, if you could get you got up to about the 3rd generation?
Yes, to my dad's grandparents.
Right. Even though you got up to your third generation, you could still communicate to them, even if just by their names. And they will be connected to the other generations. Let's say you got them 4 generations. Let's say the 3rd generation, say you got your you got your father, let's say your father, let's say you got your grandmother, great-grandmother, great-great-grandmother. Let's stop there at the 3rd generations. Remember, they are also connected to their 4 generations down as well. So even if you just connect to your 3rd generation, you also can, they are linked to the other 4 generations also. So you made that connection to the 3rd one, even you haven't got the picture, but you've got their name, you still got that connection there through the other 4 generational ancestors. So
that applies even the situation of the pictures, because what's currently happening is this: I hear, feel, and see things, places, and people, but I cannot identify them, and the communication is not effective as I would like to. So I'm not effectively communicated with my ancestors, but I receive signals. Let's put it like that. And I don't know yet how to distinguish them by identity. I just know what are the agreeable and disagreeable ones, but I
Alright.
don't know yet who is who. So I'm trying to kind of discern who is who so I can deal with them each one at a time.
Right. Did you know that I'll say it like this, that did you know that water is a communicator? Meaning that water, when I say water is a communicator, because water is that element that is partially between the physical and non-physical realm. Because water is really hydrogen. They say hydrogen and oxygen. But hydrogen, which is the first element on the periodic table, is midway point between the physical and non-physical. But the word hydrogen means that which births or that which generates water. So there's water in hydrogen. Now, when we say a communicator or like a telephone, meaning that, say you got the intention in your mind, I recommend you get a glass of water, and say, glass. If you got glass, put some water in the glass, hold it your fingertips, because you know that you got energy centers on the tips of your fingers there. I don't know if you could see them. They're a bit like pyramids. I don't know if you can see them in your fingertips. Oh, okay. Okay, right. Do this experiment. Fam, place your hands like this. Can you close it in and out? Move it in and out slowly. Can you feel something? You can feel something?
Oh, yeah.
You can feel something in it. These are energy centers. Bring it out a bit more. Keep on doing it. Bring it out a bit more. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Bring it out a bit more. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Not too fast, not too fast. Can you feel it? You can feel it?
Is it like
A tingling sensation. So there's something there. Can you see it?
No.
Because you can feel it. So you can you hear that, Zamal? You can feel that energy. You can feel it, isn't it? It's an energy force there. But you can't see it, but you can feel it. It's some type of electromagnetic energy force. There's an energy force. It's not a belief. It's not hearsay. It's not rumor. Not conjecture. It's an actual fact. You can feel something there. You can feel it, isn't it? The energy force there.
Is that not electricity?
It's a conductor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a conductor. Right. So now, with that being said, you get your glass of water. You just do that. You're energizing the water. Energizing the water just by this little thing. Energizing the water. Hold the glass. Whatever thought in your mind you want to make communication with ancestors, drink that glass of water. You could do it at night. Drink half a glass of water at night. Put it down, basically put a nice top in it, or whatever. Wake up next morning, drink the other half. Or you could drink the whole thing, but water is a conductor. And you can feel that energy force there between your hands. So there's something there.
Sorry, you said hold the water.
Yeah, because you hold a glass of water, and it's like you are saying, say you want to communicate with mum, dad, grand, whoever's on the other side, then drink the water. You can either drink the whole pint of water, or how much it is, or you drink half water, go to sleep, and wake up next morning, do the whole thing. But if you do it before you go to bed, communication will be made. Or throughout the day, there'll be some form of communication. The more you do it, the more you become aware or cognizant of the little things, the more stronger it will become. The more, because it's like you want to do push-ups, but you can't do something. Well, the goal is 10 push-ups, but you can only do 3 push-ups. But the more you do it, the stronger you become. The more you do anything, practice makes permanent. The more you do a thing, the more stronger it becomes. the more you were, the more real it becomes. Remember, when you go to sleep, the reason I say sleep, water and sleep, is because when you go to sleep, is that point whereby it's easy for your ancestors to make the communication to you in the dream state. You see? But that alone lets you know there's an energy force there in your body. I didn't say do this in come back in 10 years' time, you feel no, it's almost instantly, isn't it? It's almost instantly you could feel something there. Little things like that. Let's see somehow. Those who don't know, yeah, so I just showing the crowd here, the chat, they felt the power of themselves, the power that's within inside of the electromagnetic forces. That's a force there. There's a force there inside of us, you see. Something else also just came to mind. The brother mentioned that. Did you know that when you're praying or making any form of communication to your ancestors, that you should focus your attention on your heart seat, your heart? So focus your attention, just looking down in your heart. Because just below the heart is your solar plex. And this region here, the heart and solar plex region, they call it the second brain. There are more neurons in your solar plex than is in the brain. The electromagnetic forces around here is more powerful than the brain. And what connects the solar plex and the heart to the brain is a nerve called the vagus nerve. We have 12 cranial nerves, and the 10th cranial nerve is called the vagus nerve. It's the longest of the 12 cranial nerves. And information is sent from the vagus nerve, from this region here, up to the brain. So now when we are praying or anything like that, we should focus our attention on this heart seat. At the mere fact you're just focusing your attention on this seat, you're giving it power. So, you see? So it's all inside of us. So everything that is physical has a spiritual counterpart. Like we talk about the chakras, the chakras are part of what's referred to as the endocrine glands. Not only do the endocrine glands have a physical function, they also have a non-physical function as well. Everything that is physical has a spiritual counterpart. If you chop off your hand today, the etheric hand will still be there. Obviously, unless you've got the powers to move. Anyway, but it's something else. So I hope that helps, Zamal.
Yes, Zamal, I did not get how the water relates to identification on this process of identifying the gender.
Yeah.
Because at certain point, I don't have names and I don't have pictures. So I did not get the bridge between the water and finding identifying.
Yeah, what is it? The water be like it's like a communicator, like a cell phone, for lack of a better word, that you receive impressions by the math. If you haven't got a name, if you haven't got a name, if you got the name up to your third generation, just call upon their name using that water, like use the water as a cell phone, and the impressions will come.
So I ask the question before I sleep, and then in the morning I drink the rest of the water and I wait for it.
That's right. Do you know, it might not be instantaneous, but keep on keeping on doing it.
I keep dialing until I get an answer, right?
Is that okay?
I keep dialing until I get a response.
Yeah, until you get the response. You will get a response because your ancestors are always with you. Yeah.
All one.
Hey, teacher.
I appreciate love.
I appreciate love, Zamal. Somebody else got a question
Yeah,
there?
teacher, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. I am from Durham,
Sorry,
North Carolina.
can we be mindful that people have had their hands up for a long time? So Takudzwa first, and then the brother that's speaking, please. He's been waiting very patiently.
I've got it because sorry about that as well.
Tauta. Robert Mugdal. I've got two questions. One question is, when we say, don't believe me, check it out, when the master's teacher says, don't believe me, check it out, right? Where else am I to go and research this or check it out?
Give us an example.
So let's say anything I could read in the Patarak, for me personally, everything I read in the Patarak resonates with me. Anything within our culture resonates, and I understand most of the things I understand. But it's almost, like you said, don't just take my word for it. Don't just take what you're hearing, even if it's the master teacher breaking it down over audio or on a video or even in the scrolls, right? So my thinking is, my question is, how could I go outside Wu-Sabat to go and check it out or to do research?
Yeah, give us an example. Give us an example.
Okay.
Any example.
Religion.
Yeah.
How he breaks down about how religion is it's the story of Jesus in the Bible is not quite correct.
Right. Yeah. So okay, when you use the word religion, now let's say you talk to somebody and you say about religion. Let's use the word religion in itself, because remember, it's all in the words, and we talk about phonetics, which is the sound of words. You hear rely on jinn. Even the word religion itself is rely on jinn. And you say to them, what is a jinn? You ask them the question, what is a jinn? You say, they don't know. You say, jinn is an Arabic word that means evil spirit beings that does one's bidding. So the word rely on jinn means you rely on evil spirits that does one's bidding. And even the word rely on jinn, even the word lie is there. Now you can say, oh, that's semantics. They put that word religion deliberately. That word religion deliberately, because that is all part of the spell. To enforce the spell is in the word spell. S-P-E-L. That's the first thing. Now, when you talk about Jesus now, when you talk to a religious person, you have to say to them, what tangible evidence can you put forth to substantiate a character by the name of Jesus walked the planet Earth? Again, look at the words. It's all in the words. Now, if we accept everything that the master teacher says without investigation, we are putting ourselves back into the belief system. And the master says it. The master himself said, I don't want you to believe me. I want you to check out everything that I say. Whether it's part of actual facts, master secrets, check out everything. Because even the word actual fact, we already broke down what an actual fact is. Something that is tangible, something that can be proven. He even says, why believe what you can't prove when you can prove that which can be trusted? So he says in the book, I think it's in this book as well. It's in this book here. Oh, this is what's this? And this is the proof. I've got even the book here is called The Proof. It's what the master says here. This is the page 1 of the proof. A wise person is taught to learn, A fool is taught only to listen and believe. Just because somebody writes of it doesn't make it the truth. It may be the truth to him, but until you do your investigation on what the master's written, you are in the realm of belief. There's no other way. Unless you have done your investigation, you are in the realm of belief. Whether it's the master or somebody else, you're still in the realm of belief until your investigation. He wants us to be analytical. He wants us to use sound, right reasoning. That's why we want to call it critical. We want to become a critical thinker in all directions. It's like saying, oh, because pastor said it and he's very knowledgeable, because imam said it because he's very knowledgeable, because rabbi said it because he's very knowledgeable, that makes it the truth. It doesn't make it the truth. It may be true to him, but is it true to you? It only becomes true to you when you do your investigation. That's the bottom line, isn't it? Does that make sense? It makes sense. The Kuzwa, does that make sense to you?
Tua.
Regardless. And if you can't prove it, what was written in the Patrak, then don't accept it as truth until you can verify it yourself. People are waking up, and people will question you the same way how you question them. And if you say you're propagating on the street and you question people and they can't answer your question, they have that right to question you. And if you can't answer their questions, then they have the right to say, well, what makes you any different to me than me? Because you cannot verify what your answer. That's the bottom line. We shouldn't question the master teacher. Well, we should question the master teacher. It's not saying we shouldn't, like religious people say you shouldn't question God. We should question God. That's it. And that makes you firm, steadfast. Because that's what sound, right reasoning is all about. Reasoning things out. And yeah.
Raupat Moisar.
Okay.
Nadum Zamal.
Somebody else?
Yes, sir.
Raupat Moisar.
Sorry, man, I had not finished. I had a second question following up.
Okay, go ahead.
And you already kind of touched on it. I had a conversation with some Christians, and he mentioned something about the word religion. And I looked it up. He was telling me how the word religion, it means to reconnect. So it's something to do with a Latin word meaning reconnect. I did a little research, etymology, and I found out some guy called St. Augustine's, something like that. And that's what they kind of break it down to say religion means reconnect. But like you just said, some to do with the tones, that's not exactly what it means. How can I find out more about that?
Right, yeah. Okay. You see, right. What they're saying is if I'm correct, it comes from the Latin religare. Religare. Ligare. Religare. Which they say it means to tie or to bind, correct?
Yes.
The re means again to tie or bind. The ligare means to tie or to bind. I think it's the Latin, and the re means to tie or bind again. But again, it's the spell is in the words. We talk about the tones, like you said, the tones there is rely on jinn. But they say, oh, the etymology of the word is religare. It means to bind, or the re means again, to bind or tie again. It's all, remember, the English is all part of the spell. It's in the spelling. So you have to break that down to them, that because it's the sound of words, it's the tones that can either enforce the spell or break the spell. So that's why the master teacher has given us our own language to break the spell and to counteract those tones, frequencies, and vibrations that's not conducive to our elevation. So when they say, oh, religion means it's from, what the guy said, Augustine, whoever?
St. Augustine.
St. Augustine.
Augustus.
Yeah. You have to break that down to them. You say to them, well, how comes? Because like you got words in the English that have like you got the word bear, barefoot, grizzly bear. You know, one word having different meanings in the English language, all in the tones. All in the tones. Yeah.
Talk.
Rao,
Who's next? Hope that made anything else?
Yes, can I go?
Who's next?
Raubat Moisan.
Oh, Rohbat.
I want to find out about the pituitary gland. Is it part of the human anatomy, and what number of chakra is it in the chakra system?
All right, yeah. The masters put it like this: is that the pituitary gland is part of the endocrine system, right? He said that he hasn't given the true name of the word pituitary gland, but because it's he said it was okay. You have to do some research on the hippocampus region of the brain, and there is it's connected to, there's a word, there's a fold in the brain that's connected to the hippocampus region. I can't remember the name. It begins with P. It's a fold in the brain, because in the brain we have crevices and we have grooves. The grooves are called sulci. Is it sulci? And we have crevices and we've got folds in the brain. I can't remember the name of it. And there's one fold in the brain that's connected to the hippocampus region. And that, the master said it was the hippocampus region where the pituitary gland was once there. How he mentioned it is that it was this gland that gave us random access to the divine, to the higher planes. And the gland is real, but how can we prove that the gland is real unless you are able to cut into a person's skull and pick up and say, this is the pituitary gland? It is your experiences that will make it real. But what number gland, I don't know what number gland that is, but it's part of the endocrine glands. What the master did say is that, let me just read a portion from Holy Tablets about the pituitary gland and what it secretes. Okay, and this is coming from Holy Tablets. That's in chapter 6, also in I think it's in chapter 7 as well, the Holy Tablets. Okay, no, it's in chapter 6. Okay, let's read chapter 6 of the Holy Tablets. Okay, got it here. Right, found it. Yeah, chapter 6 of the Holy Tablets. And we're reading from verse 157. I know there's a hang on, I'm just getting right for other verses or I'm reading this. Okay, I'm reading this section here from the Holy Tablet, page 642. I'm reading from 157 and it reads. I'm reading 156. As the arcs of light begin to change, a different light force is beginning to work with the electromagnetic forces. This force he's talking about is the green light force. It's the healing light. Because the higher beings are of the green light. Allowing 158, allowing the inner sights to receive, there you go, to receive whole light beings, is the Etherians. Upon the reinsertion of the barotheric gland and the reactivation of the supreme melanin. It has been previously thought that the light forces of the Earth's magnetic field control the biorhythms of life of all biological species. Here he's talking about the circadian rhythm. He's talking about circadian rhythm here. So let's go ahead. It has been previously thought that the light forces of the Earth's magnetic field control the rhythms of all life of all biological species. And all living cells need only the light of our own portion of the electromagnetic spectrum to survive. Enocytes, wait, do we say enocytes? Talk about the Garanato Negroids. Enocytes will have the brain of an electromagnetic computer and will be forced to adapt to an enlarged electromagnetic spectrum. I wonder. No, let me continue after that. So the present electromagnetic spectrum is from, is it cosmic rays to electric power? That's the electromagnetic spectrum. You're saying here it's going to expand even more. The new electromagnetic frequency is an astrobiological threshold by itself. Oops. Your sun, by virtue of being a variable star, will be seen as having great limitations for future evolutions. What the master is saying here is that our present sun is not enough for beings to evolve higher. So you need, he says, another 2 suns are coming in. One sun, he said, one sun is called the Pistol Star because of its shape, which is in the Sagittarius star constellation. What is it? The solar system moves around, if the sun moves around an even greater vortex. And as it's rotating, other suns, even though they're trillions of miles away, we can feel the effect. Your sun, your sun, by virtue of being a variable star, will be seen as having great limitations for future evolutions. I've jumped to 167. These changes are the result of new biological light that controls being introduced by the new administrative order in conjunction with the Council of Nine Ether. There is a galactical council that oversees what happens, especially on this planet. They're known as Parmut Sahu, or the Nine, but they are but they're always higher and higher and higher beings. The Master says he sits on this council here as well. So they are controlling what's happening on this planet Earth. These changes are necessary to prepare our mortal evolution to overlap. Sorry? Somebody say something? Okay, these changes are necessary to prepare our mortal evolution to overlap with whole light beings of advanced creation in the evoluting of new astral mutations. I'm going to stop there. So in order for these things to take place, we need the barotheric gland. And with the reinsertion or the growth of the barotheric gland, you're also going to activate what's referred to as supreme melanin. And the barotheric gland secretes a green, it says it as a green fluid called serine, S-E-R-I-E-N. So find that. And that serine fluid helps to activate supreme melanin. See if I find that actual quote in the Holy Tablets. I think it's in chapter 7. I'll find that for you. But when it comes to the Master, they do know about the barotheric gland. They made a movie, not about the gland, but they made a movie called Limitless, where the geezer takes this tablet and he has 100% brain capacity. I also made it.
Yes, you did.
And he also made another movie called Lucy, where she also takes this other tablet, pill or whatever, this drug, and she also started to have 100% brain capacity. Can't really find the thing on the green fluid, but yeah, the barotheric gland. I hope that helps Samal, who asked the question. Brother, who asked the question?
I have a follow-up question.
Go ahead, Samal.
You mentioned the 9 chakra system. Can you please tell us about chakra number 8 and number 9?
Yeah, the Master said that it's not that you got 8 or 9 chakras. You've got 7 major chakras. The 8th and 9th chakras are outside of the body, but they do have influence over the other 7. So they're not physical, they are non-physical. Okay.
Let me know when I can go.
Is that anything else?
Sorry, everyone. It's important to raise your hand so we can.
How do I raise my hand? How do I
Yeah.
raise my hand?
You should have some tools at the bottom of your screen. If you're on the phone, you may have to swipe. I know Gina's had her hand up, so
Yeah.
if you can.
All right, there you go.
Okay, I see you's got his hand up. So let's go with Gina, then you. All right.
Gina, go ahead.
Okay, peace. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, great. I'm new here. Just found you a few days ago, and I'm so happy I did.
Cool.
I've come across some people that are impersonating followers of Dr. York, and so anyway, I'm glad I found you. And
You're welcome. I'm
I
glad to
won't
have you.
go into that. Thank you.
We,
But
we're glad that you found us and we found you.
yes. But I've been going through some rough times in the last 3 years. I know everyone has in their own way, but I've been searching for answers, and I ask and I just don't get anywhere. People think that I'm just nuts, but there's a large community on social media, TikTok, Facebook, and some on YouTube, where people are going through what is termed organized gang stalking. I don't know if you all have heard of that.
No. Organized gang stalking.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, it's supposedly a program that individuals get put in the deep state, basically pays individuals to uh, harass you, stalk you 24/7. And some people complain of hearing voices. I don't have that problem, but they also complain of getting uh, hit by directed energy weapons, which to me feel like shocks throughout my body and all over my body. They're painful. Um, and they go in your private areas and do things. And I tell people that and they're like, what? But I'm not crazy. This is really has happened. That kind of attack, the physical attack didn't start happening until like in 2023, late 2023. And it's just escalated from there. And I didn't know anything about gang stalking or people harassing me until around that time too. I just noticed people constantly, being in my space when I go shopping, go anywhere, people following me in cars. When I leave my apartment or home, there's always people, mirroring everything I do. It sounds, if you've never heard of it, it just sounds crazy. But I when I listened to some of your videos this week, it seemed to me that it was like like you would mention gens attacking you, and disagreeable and disembodied spirits when you get to a low vibration. So I guess I'm at a low vibration. You know, and these attacks have made me, like, when I was able to get work, I noticed I was always being set up at work and sabotaged, and then physical attacks, people poisoning my food and water that I noticed. And I just have gotten to the point where I do have some money I just said I'm not working anymore. So for the last year, I just haven't been working, and I've just been searching for the answer.
Right. Well, you found your way home, and Wu-Sabat is not just doctrine, but it's a culture. And once you embrace Wu-Sabat, it's also within the culture is a protection as well. Everything about the culture is a means of protection. What advice the best advice I would give you would be, in your area, if you can locate a bookstore in your area. What area are you in about at?
I'm in Central Ohio.
Ohio. I don't know if you have a bookstore in Ohio region, in Central Ohio. Are you on our OSM Telegram channel?
Yes, as of
Yeah.
today.
What you do is go in the Telegram channel and request for information pertaining to a bookstore that's nearest to you in Ohio, and try and do your best to link up with them, and they could help you a bit more than we can over here. But without a doubt, though, you found your way home, and the culture is our means of protection, is your means of protection. And they can give you more support if you go to your local bookstore. There are chants that we also say that can also help protect you as well, if you're that way inclined, because not everybody's into chanting. And but what it is,
Jamal,
go ahead,
sorry, go.
Samal.
Have you finished?
Yeah, go ahead, Samal.
Okay, I just wanted to just build a little bit on what you've said already, if I may, because
Go
I
ahead.
was actually asked that question on one of the videos that I did with, I think it was Kem, and what Happy Ray has just shared is very true in terms of Wu-Sabat and the culture. But I wanted to just add that it's not just, oh, let me just wear the crowns and the outfit and now I'm Wu-Sabat, so I'm protected. It's the actual living and applying the doctrine of Wu-Sabat and actually living it. So some people may say they're in Wu-Sabat and they're not getting the protection, but it's the intentions, it's the sincerity, it's a lot that goes with it, where the ancestors will know and read your energy. As you say, when you're on a low vibration, and people do all kinds of stuff. They eat the filth, they listen to the music, they go to certain places, they expose themselves to many things, give their DNA to these websites, and your DNA is something that is actually very important. So a lot of the things that people do in the six ether forces and world is what's, as you say, gang stalking is real, because these systems have been in place for a very long time. And don't forget, they've got alien intelligence, or we call it alien intelligence by way of our master teacher teaching us. They say artificial intelligence, but when you really understand what the capability of AI is, this alien intelligence, and how all the worldwide web, the interlocking of computers and networks and agencies are all connected now. So it's very easy. The mobile phones people carry around, they have all this AI in it. They have the cameras, they listen to the audios. There's really very little that is not exposed, especially if you're on social media, and they can literally connect the dots about your movement. They call it an internet footprint. So yes, by being under the protection of Wu-Sabat and the Natharu, learning the language, because remember the language is very key. How Nimrod was able to block the frequencies, right, from the Anunnaki, who were constantly broadcasting these frequencies to have control over the people. It's exactly the same thing that's going on today, and why the master has expressed that we must learn our language. In there's a part called Speaking of Tongues. We've got the language scrolls, we have language groups, we have many resources for you to live Wu-Sabat every day to the best of your ability, that will give you that protection. But sometimes people don't really apply what we've got, the chants, we've got rituals to heal yourself, and there's so many things within Wu-Sabat, but we have to apply it. So I just wanted to, because I was already asked that question on one of the videos, I just thought I'll chime in and just build on what Haptwy has given you already. And with that, I yield back to you, Haptwy.
Thank you.
I hope that helped, Gina. Is that Gina?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Right,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate love. Who's next one is you? Is that you?
All right, yes, sir. All
Go
right,
ahead.
so I was born in 1987, and I'm from a list of names: Harvey Lewis, I'm Edwin Harvey Lewis Bailey, Jerry Lewis Bailey Sr., and I'm Jerry Lewis Bailey Jr. So in the walk of my life in sorcery, which what we was really capable of handling everything, in being combated by the other races for their control of it, they basically killed my grandfather and left all of his kids, you know, with the level of living that they got, and then me as a child just seeing it all go through. I paid attention to the enemy. I paid attention to the Mongols of the family, you know, the illegal sorcerers or sources, and I kind of stayed out of trouble and to keep my legitimacy, having no felony, and to be an upright young man. So with the name comes power. So since I have a good name and I have good credentials and education, I remember um, certain things that the word says. Our Father who art in heaven, ART, the art, and I took that as the art being the numbers and symbols. And I remember in school getting a number 60613, but I remember the coming out of computers, and when that number was put in there, it produced an anti Christ like symbol. But for me, that symbol being my number, it was an upside down cross, meaning anti-Christ, but it really wasn't an anti as in Christ, but it was an anti to any false Christ that I would say that will be produced in our nation. And I had other people who that had I was lucky enough to meet that had other symbols too that was assigned to them. And one of those other symbols, like the one on your hat, kind of like it meant as so above, also as below. But with all this, these symbols and things, and me being a person that survived life, and I grew to being a man in the United States, I've always wanted to be successful enough to be able to travel and to be able to go to the foreign places of the other tongues that I don't remember because now I'm just exclusively English. So now that I've done that, I've remembered and had kids with a lady of my likeness, of my melanin as well. But through the system and everything that it put on us, it made her put child support on me basically. And it accumulated a financial debt, let's say of just $14,000, which is not a lot of money. But in still, when it's arranged by the system, in between two individuals, it put hardship on the lifestyle of a young king who wants to grow and wants to be great and use the art of the Lord to bring together our culture under the proper teachings like you share. So I just wanted to say that I understand a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. And I surrender myself to knowing nothing. And I'm just grateful to be able to hear you know that you know about what you know about. And I look forward to a one-on-one to be able to talk about some things as I see it, so that way I can have more time to explain what I know and what you can have at use for me having a good name.
Okay, talk that for that, Samal. Like Ken said, like we say, is that the doctrine or the culture is our means of protection, but what gives the culture protection is the application. There's a saying, faith without works is faith in vain. So it's our works, not just our words, that will activate the protection. You see. Guess what, fam? I'd like to say a tawakum because we run out of time now. I say a tawakum to you all for participating in today's class. We have a class every Saturday? Yeah, every Saturday from 7 till 9:30. We have a Q&A classes or formatted classes. And we're here if you're here in the UK, we're on 101 Church Street in Croydon. We've also got a new unit in Brixton. Does anybody have the details of that? Oh, we've got a new store in
Should be on the flyers, Ma. I don't have it on me.
It's on the slide there.
But yeah, it's 29 Reliance. Mark, it's on the flyer.
It's on the flyer. Okay, you got the flyer there, Chef. Let's have a look at the flyer. Oh, this is a little rush to with the pulpit. Right, yeah, this is if you're in UK area, London, it's, you have a store, like a unit in Brixton, 29 Reliance Arcade, RELIANCE, Reliance Arcade, Brixton. Postcode is SW98HH. Telephone 07399 761 346. Website is nashatbrixton.com. We've got here at Nashat 101 Church Street, CR01RN, or nashat.co.uk. So with that, fam, we'd like to say tawakum. Until the next time, and we'd like to leave you with this. Okay. What do, fam?